Arrival in Dhaka. A busy airport terminal in Dhaka, filled with excited travelers reuniting. A large family hugs and laughs, exchanging warm greetings. Outside, the streets of Dhaka are chaotic and bustling, with honking cars, rickshaws, and street vendors. As the family boards a bus, the scene transitions smoothly to the calm, serene beauty of the Sundarbans, with dense mangrove forests and wide, slow-moving rivers. The Sundarbans trip begins. A scenic view of a tranquil resort by a river, surrounded by towering mangrove trees and lush greenery. The family is seen happily packing bags and preparing for their adventure. They look excited and cheerful as they chat and gather near the entrance of the resort. The camera pans to the distance, showing the mysterious expanse of the Sundarbans National Park. A long, winding forest trail cutting through dense jungle, bathed in the warm, golden glow of a setting sun. Shadows from the towering trees stretch across the trail. The family is seen walking in a relaxed manner, with children laughing and elders chatting. The camera focuses on the peaceful atmosphere of the forest as the sun begins to dip lower, casting a serene but slightly ominous tone. The first signs of danger. A close-up shot of the young woman's face as she suddenly stops, looking around in confusion. The camera captures her expression as she tilts her head, listening intently. In the background, the thick, darkening forest looms, with the sun nearly set, casting a deep orange glow over the trees. There is an eerie stillness in the air, with no visible disturbance in the undergrowth. The growls begin. The dense underbrush of the forest begins to rustle and shake slightly. The woman and her cousins are now huddled together, their faces etched with fear. The camera slowly pans across their wide eyes and tense faces as a deep, guttural growl builds in the distance. The surrounding trees tremble slightly, and the forest floor seems to vibrate with an unseen menace. The shadows grow darker, as if the forest is closing in around them. Panic. The family is shown sprinting down the forest trail, their faces filled with sheer terror. The camera captures their frantic movements as they stumble and run through the darkening jungle. The dim light of the setting sun barely filters through the trees, casting long, eerie shadows. Behind them, the forest is alive with sounds, and the growling continues, as if something unseen is following them closely. The chase. Close-up shots of the family members running for their lives, their feet pounding the forest floor. The camera zooms in on their fearful expressions as they look back in desperation. The surrounding jungle seems alive, with leaves rustling and branches snapping, as if the predator is right behind them. The growling is louder now, filling the air with danger. The forest grows darker, almost suffocating in its silence, broken only by the sound of their frantic footsteps. The family finally reaches the ranger, who stands at the edge of the trail, confused by their terror. The camera captures him raising his rifle, the tension in his hands as he aims it at the darkening forest. A close-up of his face shows confusion turning to alarm as he fires a shot into the air. The loud crack of the gunshot echoes through the silent trees, freezing everyone in place for a moment. The camera focuses on the ranger's face, pale and tense, as he stares into the thick jungle. The surrounding forest is silent, but the atmosphere is thick with tension. A subtle shadow moves in the distance, barely visible through the dense underbrush. The outline of the tiger is faint, almost imperceptible, but its presence is felt. The family huddles together behind the ranger, their faces pale with fear as they sense the tiger's invisible gaze upon them. The camera shows the family slowly retreating, clinging to each other as they back away from the forest's edge. The ranger walks backward, his rifle still aimed at the trees, his eyes scanning the undergrowth. The atmosphere is thick with fear and tension. The camera captures close-up shots of the family's anxious faces, mixed with the dark, shadowy background of the forest. The shelter comes into view, offering them a brief moment of safety. The family is seen boarding a bus, relieved but still shaken by the previous night's events. The camera captures the distant view of the Sundarbans as the bus pulls away, the forest now quiet and peaceful. but still hiding its dark secrets. A final wide shot shows the dense jungle, with the shadows of trees stretching out across the horizon, giving a lingering sense that the predator is still watching from within.